In this video, I'm going to show you how I figured out my financial freedom number and figured out exactly how many rentals I needed to make that happen. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. It's DM from Lifestyle Leaps, and we are here to take big steps towards financial freedom and retiring early so you can do whatever the heck you want. To me, financial freedom just simply means that you can replace your current income or your living expense so that you don't always have to be thinking about money, that you can create some kind of a passive income and early retirement scenario. Does that mean you'll stop working? Maybe, maybe not. Does that mean you'll stop investing when you get there? Maybe, maybe not. That's totally up to you. I don't know. What the hell am I talking about? Why do you listen to me anyway? So determining your financial freedom number, you start with the end in mind. Thinking about at the end of the month, the end of the year, how much money are you spending? And some of them is fixed, like you're not going to change the price of housing very much or utilities, insurance, but you can change the price of your discretionary income, like how often you go out to eat, how often you're going to see entertainments. Also, don't forget those pesky little things that come up every once in a while, like gifts, or if you pay anything annually, like insurance bills that you pay annually, saving for travel, saving for emergency funds and repairs and maintenance type of things. All of that needs to be included. So you have a little bit of homework, okay? Figure out how much you're spending on a monthly basis and some of those annual spendings that you need to allocate towards each month to figure out what it costs for you to live kind of like a baseline lifestyle every single month. One of many things that I love about real estate is that real estate keeps up with inflation. Real estate keeps up with the life demanding changes that are revolved around living expenses, cost of living, money, etc., right? Because the more things cost, the more rents go up, the more rents you collect as a landlord. So it's pretty foolproof. So let's look at my handy dandy sheet. We've got to calculate, your expenses and whatnot. Housing and utility costs, right? So for me, my house is kind of a wash because I'm already in it. I've already invested and I'm doing the thing that you're learning how to do. So here, it doesn't cost me to live here at all because my house hacking strategies with my 2 rental units inside or outside my house pays for the mortgage and the utilities, so that's a wash. But for you, you got to still think about that if you haven't invested yet. So let's just say $3,000 a month in my area. I could probably find something cheaper, but that's pretty realistic. And then living expenses in terms of like groceries, car payments if you have one, car insurance, health insurance. Let's just say that's like $1,500. Discretionary spending like dining out, gifts, entertainment, let's say that's like $1,000. Now my friends are watching this and they're like, heck no, you spend way more than $1,000, and that's true, but I could minimize it down to $1,000 if I needed to. Okay, obviously, I spend more. Think about the realistic bare minimum. That sounds like it's going to be about $5,500. We'll round up to $6,000 so you can have a $500 savings for emergency or for car replacements. This is just for the sake of round numbers though, right? Because you really have to think realistically how much you need to be saving and then add that in there instead of just saying 500. And I would start with a fully funded emergency fund from 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Start there before you even start saving money for a down payment, because that's always going to be there and untouched. You just don't touch that. And the more that it costs to live your life, the more you have to fund that emergency fund as things change. Maybe start with like 3 months emergency fund and then be more aggressive with your monthly savings if you don't want to get the whole 6 months right away. So that means that it's 2 properties that you need that cash flows $3,000 a month after saving for vacancy and repairs, because you need to also save for that now that you're a landlord, or 3 properties that are cash flowing about $2,000 a month, which I think is very doable, especially in my area. But of course, if you're living in a lower cost living area, that's going to be less for you. Or another way to look at it is if you can get a home, owner occupy that home, house hack it, eliminate the mortgage and utility expense, then that's a wash, right? So now you really have to just think about the rest of your living expenses and how many units or rentable spaces that you need a cash flow to achieve that. So just for the sake of an example, here's what I do. Build an emergency fund, don't touch that, 3 to 6 months of living expenses that you have currently. Then start saving for a down payment of 5 or 10%, depending on if you're buying locally or further away. So I do 5% owner occupied on your first home. Then create 2 rentable spaces out of there, house hack, live in one, rent out the other 2 units. That means you eliminated your mortgage payment, living expense. So now you can massively speed up your savings. And so bulk up that emergency fund before you move on to saving the down payment for the next house. Once you do that, buy the next house, go owner occupy that, because that allows you to get in there at 5% down. Do the same strategy. So now you're supercharging, because now once you eliminate your mortgage there, you're also getting cash flow from your first house, and now you're supercharging your savings, right? And then you can buy your third house, and it's quite possible, because in my scenario this was true, at that point you're done. And you can do this in less than 5 years, which is what I did, just to completely get yourself to a place where you're financially free. Doesn't mean you have to stop working, you can keep working. Doesn't mean you have to stop investing, you can keep investing. But doesn't it feel so nice and cozy to be in that spot where you can stop thinking about how you're gonna make the next payment, right? Anyway, hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.